field is relevant? Well, it seems that on days that the sun is more active, people are more risk-taking in the stock market. Think of that. So that means that the sun has an effect on the Schumann field, and the Schumann field has an effect on our moods and our ability to take risks. Think of that. So when the sun goes through patterns of distress and activity, we can't help but feel it if you're paying attention. So you have the sun affecting the Schumann field affecting our activities affecting the stock market or whatever. You have people behaving differently, more 911 calls on days when there's a full moon. It's not that the full moon drives us wild, it's that it affects the Schumann field in some way, and the Schumann field in some way affects us. What about planetary alignments? Now we have these planetary alignments and we have some scientific sense to astrology and these kinds of predictions. As we look back in time, we find out that the ancients knew a lot. And they believed that planets had an effect on human consciousness and cycles. Maybe they did through the Schumann field, which is just a field of consciousness around the planet that we're connected to like a big wireless network. Maybe there's different layers of the Schumann field. There is, the ionosphere. Maybe they all do something different. Maybe by targeting different layers of these energy fields outside the planet, we affect humans in different ways. Maybe our overlords know that. Maybe that's why they put trillions and trillions of dollars into these black ops technologies. Now you asked about Reiki. Totally believe in Reiki. And again, if you don't believe in energy fields, the way to prove it to yourself, sit down quietly, drink some water, get relaxed and in the zone. Take your hand, take your finger, close your eyes, start making small circles in your hand. Very slow, very, very slow. Keep doing it until you feel your finger touching your hand without your finger touching your hand. That's the impact of your field not even touching, and you can feel it. And then once it gets going, and there's all kinds of Qigong, Reiki, energy exercises that get this pumping, and you'll feel it in your hands. And when they do energy studies on the effects of that energy on algae, they find that all of these energy fields positively influence plants. So, in some way, we get this energy flowing from our hands, and we affect other biological systems that also run on some kind of coherent energy we have in common. Now, the interesting thing about Reiki is that it was taught in several different ways, in several different divisions, but you know what? They all work. So, what did that teach me? Well, a lot of training systems give you the imagination, the visual imprint of what it is you want to do. But really what you're doing is you're developing some kind of an imaginative pattern to something that affects your body in reality. So does it have to be exactly that? No. Are there power symbols and mantras that work? Yeah, I think so. And you'll see all kinds of people who've written volumes and volumes of information that tell you how to do these things and heal people. Look back to all the ancient philosophies. You know what they talked about? What were their doctors? They laid on hands. They touched each other. And that's how they healed each other. It's not myth. It worked. So how does that happen? Well, what causes some of the illnesses that we suffer from that's being hidden from us by the medical-industrial complex, the Nazi military and medical-industrial complex in America, is that a lot of our health systems function on energy meridians and blocked energy. Blocked energy causes illness. So there are ways like breathing and nutrition and water, but also ways of moving energy through us. This is why yoga works. Yoga cures people of cancer. People go in riddled with cancer, do yoga, and get healed. Not with any drugs. What does that mean? That means that the moving of this energy in some way gets our immune system to the right area, gets our consciousness, whatever it is, to the right area to heal us. Now, I read an interesting book about a guy that does energy healing, and he said he learned from a guy that told him not to follow any patterns, that it's an art. And that when you heal people, once you're pure enough to get these things going, get your hands pulsing, you're going to basically follow your instinct to try and help people because it's not from this mind that you're getting that information. It's from a field outside of that. Just like Edgar Cayce was able to do psychic readings of people who were ill by accessing some kind of field and nailing their conditions in a trance lying on his couch. And he's nailing what ails people so well that people of all wealthy people come to this guy. He had at least 40,000 different readings of people and he was accurate. Everybody was happy. You know any doctors today that have 40,000 people, everybody happy? I think out of 40,000 patients, maybe 5,000 live. So let's be real about this. So I think that pattern is true. I don't think you have to have a system. I think it helps to learn all systems and then apply it instinctually and allow whatever that connection is to whatever our higher self is to flow through these energy healing sessions, and they work. And I've had experience with them too. I've seen people's aches and pains go away, their brains stimulated and eased, I guess. But I'm not that great at it. But I would like to spend more time learning it.
Like with all that knowledge, how could we benefit on a daily basis, for example, from that shooting field? I meditate, well, not those days that much, but I always try to get some energy from that field, from that cosmos, from Schumann field, and I don't know, sometimes but I would like to...
You feel success or no success?
Well, I don't know. Not success, but I need something more than that.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, like abilities to get knowledge, you know, like, or just subconscious memorizing stuff. You know?
I would say, you know, I can't, your situation, I'd have to, you know, we'd have to spend some time together, ask personal questions. But what I would say is the first step is to get your intention straight. So whatever your intention is, remember the first day I said, what is your objective in life? What are you chasing? Because you become what you chase. So if you chase money, you become greedy. If you chase knowledge, you become wise. So be careful what you chase, and you will fall down in worship, because what you do becomes you. So if I would say step one, get your intentions straight. And once you have your intentions straight, what you want to do, you go about you know, the whole process. And meditation doesn't happen quick. Why? Because we're insanely distracted. All of us are programmed and we don't even know it. We have a lot of things interfering with our ability to relax and connect. But once you do, you'll know it. Weird stuff will happen. When it happened to me, I was doing trance drawings, crazy stuff. And what it was not an ailment. It was something good. It was something connecting. And since then, again, my creativity was completely shut down. I was extremely creative as a child. I went through a period where I was completely shut down. Then I turned it back on again, and it's something that starts to flow and drive you. So whatever that is for you, you have to play it. You have to go out and play a flute, bang a drum, draw a picture, paint a picture, do something creative. Martial arts. Martial arts are arts too. Moving the body, dance, whatever it is. Those things are all different types of arts that stimulate the same part of the brain. So you have to find those things in you that are what you're designed for. And if you spend enough time in meditation, you'll get those. I actually was drawing things that I needed to do, somehow through my subconscious. So again, put yourself in those states, get into those environments, and just let what happens, happens. And I think that's your best results. And really the key is, you know, following your instinct. They were saying the studies are showing that people are increasing their IQ. So it seems that younger people are getting smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. Or it means that people, when they guess, are getting more accurate and more accurate and more accurate. So I would say that maybe we're going through a revolution of intuition rather than intellect. Yes.
You say instinct, right?
Yes.
But what about the Schumann field?
I don't. Instinct is a poor word. That's from my programming. I would say intuition is a better word. And intuition, I would say, is the flow of the universe. So whatever. And here's another interesting point. The studies that they're doing now on the brain, we're determining that if I say, I want you to pick a color, red or blue, and before you consciously know which one you're going to pick, several seconds before your brain has made that selection. What does that mean? Where is the decision-making process occurring? In our brain or in a field outside of it or in a different layer altogether? Very strange. So now I forgot what I was talking about. Why did I say that? Where is that going?
It's just decision making.
Yeah.
Are all there. All our decisions are not made by us, actually.
Or at a different level, not so much in our brain, but maybe something that happens before that. Okay, so now what I would say that the universe has a flow of its own. And whatever your destiny is, as you go through life and you find it, when you go towards it, you feel peace and balance. When you go against it, you feel any range of negative things like depression, stress, aggression. Anytime you're feeling bad, you've got to understand that there's a reason for that. And if you start looking inside and, hey, where is this coming from? You could find out what it is. And then when you correct that, you go about your business without that negative, without that Achilles heel. So the name of the game is finding out when you feel bad, that's a symptom, just like a router, just like any kind of hardware. What is you feeling bad? What is depression? What is anxiety? What is all these different anger? What are those things? Those are symptoms of a dysfunction. And if you can identify them and trace them back to their root, you can uproot that over time. And it allows you to go with the flow of the universe better to whatever your destiny is. So whatever direction you're supposed to go, it should feel good. If you feel like a slave, like a drone going to work, hating your life, you're going against the flow. You're fighting real hard to swim against the current. And if you just pay attention, you're going against the current. Your discomfort comes from going the wrong way. And I would say when you correct that, you bring peace and balance to your life, and you make accessible all those things that are creative and beautiful about humanity. Because what is creative and beautiful about humanity is not us as drones, bowing down to ridiculous people in ridiculous robes and ridiculous jewelry with